I'm Terry, and welcome to Yoga Beginner Basics Session 2. I hope by now that you've had a chance to practice Session 1 multiple times. These will build on each other, and let's get started. So today we're going to start on our backs. I'll go ahead and slide this way. In a pose called Supta Baddha Konasana, where we take our feet together, slide your legs out as far as feels good on your lower back, and maybe press your hands down, lift your hips and slide your hips forward a little bit too. That always helps me. So that your feet are pressing together pretty firmly. Or, if that's uncomfortable, take your feet to the edges of your mat and bring your knees together. It'll work just as well. It tends to be my preferred pose on my back. Just feels a lot easier on my hips. Again, just follow my voice. You don't really have to watch me. I'm going to give you instruction that will not require you watching, but you'll be able to listen and follow. And I want you to go ahead and, again, lift your hips a little bit and slide your hips forward so that your low back's resting on the floor. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart and close your eyes. Lengthen your neck by tucking your chin slightly. Relax your upper back onto your mat. Just notice how you're doing today. Without judging or trying to change, just how does your body feel? Where are you emotionally, mentally, physically? Just breathe deeply in and out. And then if your feet are together and you've chosen that legs open posture, go ahead and take your hands to the outside of your thighs and draw your knees together. Hug both knees into your chest. Place your hands on your shins or the back of your thighs. Press your low back into the mat. Relax your upper body. Flex your toes and breathe. Going to do a little bit of core work here. You always want to pull your belly button down and in towards your spine. Have like a slight lift of your hips, your pelvic floor, so your belly button is pressing down into your spine, and you can still breathe. So secure that. Place your hands face down underneath your hips, your buttocks. Give them a little cushion. And pressing your belly button into your spine, lift your legs up in the air so your feet are pressing towards the ceiling. Low back pressing into the floor. Activate your core by pressing your belly button down into your spine. This could be enough for you. Just breathe here if you feel that activation, that core strengthening. If you want a little bit more, pressing your belly button down into your spine, lower your heels just as far as you can continue activating your core. If your low back pulls up off the mat, go back a little bit, you've gone too far. Breathe here, hold it there. Just breathe, focus on your inhales and your exhales, and lift your legs back up to the ceiling. So eventually you'll get to be lowering your legs just a little bit further each time. And it's never a contest. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You want to really focus on activating your core. Okay, good. Hug your knees into your chest again. Roll to your left side. Press up to a seat. Checking the time to make sure that the video is going. Come back to the front of your mat. And just sit nice and tall. Cross your legs if that's comfortable for you. Excuse me. If it's not, just maybe one leg out to the side. Make sure that you're comfortable. And you're sitting up tall from your sits bones to the crown of your head. So your airways are nice and open. Take your left hand to the outside beside your mat. Take your right hand to your left knee. Sit up tall. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just slightly turn your body to the left to the degree that it feels good. Breathe in, lengthen through the crown of your head. Breathe out. Release a little bit, turn a little bit further left if that feels good. So you're lengthening, excuse me, lengthening, you lift. And exhaling, you twist a bit. One more time. Inhaling, you lift. Exhaling, you twist a bit. Making sure your sits bones are still pressed deeply into your mat. Come back to center. Take it to the other side. They'll feel different because our sides are different. Left hand is on top of your right knee. Press into your sits bones, lengthen through the top of your head. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, just a slight twist. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, just a slight twist. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, come back to center. Come down to your hands and knees. And press back to downward facing dog. Look back at your feet. You could place 2 fists between your feet. That's how wide you want your feet to be, so that you can visualize placing 2 of your fists there. A lot of times we take our hips wider than we need to. And just walk out your dog a little bit. Bend one knee and then the other. Knees can stay very bent. Arms can stay very bent. Hips up toward the back of the room. Press into your widely spaced fingers. And we're going to do a pose called Warrior 2. So you're going to take your right foot up, bring your knee in towards your chest, and then taking as many steps as it takes, or maybe walking your foot up with your hand, bring your foot towards the top of the mat. Using your strength of your core, maybe your hands come up. Take your back foot so that it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Bend your front knee so that you're looking at your front knee, your right knee, and it's coming down towards your right pinky toe, your little toe. And then just sit down as far as it's comfortable for you. Reach your right arm out in front of you, your left arm behind you. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Lift your shoulders high and then release them down. Let's do that again. Shoulders nice and high, nice shoulders shrug, and release them down. It's a nice hip opener. Breathing in, lift your shoulders high, breathing out, roll them back and down. Good. Belly button pulled in toward your spine, just here. Look out over your fingers. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to take the left hand to your back of your left leg, and we call this a reverse. Just lift your palm towards your face, lift your right arm to the sky, sit down a little bit, and look up at your right hand. That's a reverse warrior. And then for side angle, I just want you to bring your right elbow to your right thigh. Good. Now draw your hip in slightly so that your right hip isn't sticking out. And lift your left arm up. Press into your feet. Pull your belly button to your spine. Look out at something to the side wall softly and breathe. Side angle. Pressing into your feet. There's your efforting, lifting up and away from your feet. Find your ease, breath. You're just going to press into your feet and come back to warrior two. And then bring your hands to your mat. Lift your right foot. Come back to your knees. And we'll take that flow we learned the other day. So elbows in, slide forward. Come all the way down to your belly. You can bring your toes down. Pressing into your toes, pressing into your hands. Lift your heart into a baby cobra. Look out in front of you, nice long neck. Press back to your knees. Breathe in, downward facing dog. Breathe out. Just inhale, exhale, nice place to rest. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, send your hips high. And let's take this to the other side. So lift your left leg to the sky. Draw your knee in towards your chest, hold it there. Take a step, use your arm if you need to bring your leg up forward. Press into both feet, take your back foot, slide it open so that it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Draw your left hip in as you come up into warrior two. Again, looking down at your toes, making sure your knee does not come out forward of your ankle. Opening up through your upper body, reaching your right fingertips back, your left fingertips forward. Take a couple of those shoulder shrugs again, pressing into your feet, relaxing your upper body. Bring your right hand to the back of your right leg. Reverse your palm so that you're holding a platter. Lift it up, look at your hand. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your elbow, your left elbow, to your left thigh. Slide your body open towards your right and look up at your hand or look at the wall out beside you. Pressing into your feet. Inhale, lift a little bit. Exhale. Inhale. Exhaling, come back to warrior two. Bring your hands to your mat. And this time, let's just step back. This is always an option, downward facing dog. You don't have to take the vinyasa flow every time. Downward facing dog, breathing in and out. I want to teach you one more standing pose. It's called crescent lunge. We're going to lift the right leg up. Bring your right foot forward between your hands. Drop your left knee down and come into what we would call a runner's lunge. Like you're a runner at the starting blocks. Fingertips beside on blocks would be fine. On pillow cushions would be fine. Or on the floor. Lift your chest, look forward, press into your back foot. And then go ahead and lift, tuck your toes like you do when you come into down dog. Tuck your toes. I'll do this sideways. Tuck your toes. Press into your front foot, and then lift up using your core. Both feet coming straight ahead. Hands on your hips. This is called crescent lunge, high lunge. So your feet are wide, hips distance apart, will give you a lot more balance. So hips distance apart on your mat, or wider. Feel how much better you feel when you go wider. Both feet tracking straight ahead. you're on your back toes. And then you can either just bring your hands to your heart or lift your arms to the sky. Crescent lunge. Go ahead and step to the top of your mat. Bring your arms up into mountain. Hands to heart center. Lift up again. And fold. Bend your knees a lot. Halfway lift. Come back down to your knees. Take that flow, elbows in all the way down to your belly. Feet pressing into your mat as well. Baby cobra, breathe in. Press back to your knees. And downward facing dog, breathe out. Good. Lift your left leg. Step it through to a runner's lunge, back knee down, back toes untucked. Your arms lifted or pressed onto your left thigh. Tuck those toes back there. Maybe use your hands to come up. So you're pressing up. Feet are nice and widely set apart for balance. Come up slowly. Hands on your hips or at your heart or lifted to the sky, crescent lunge. Now, if it's better for you to stay down on your knee, by all means, low lunge works. This lunge works every time we come into crescent. This can be your pose instead. And actually, sometimes when we twist, I find that I get a little bit better movement if I stay in low lunge. So absolutely fine to stay in low lunge instead of reaching up high. This would be a perfectly fine lunge. Okay, that's enough for today. Come to a seat. Close your eyes. Notice how you feel. Just moving your body. Notice how much more alive you feel. Thank you so much for joining me. Please practice sessions 1 and session 2, and pretty soon I'll put out session 3. Have a great day. Namaste.